My shop is very unique. We do things differently here. For us, it's all about making them as stylish and beautiful
When
as they
Counting
can be.
Cars ended, many fans thought Danny Koker was finished. He had lost 35 pounds from stress, faced a $2.7 million lawsuit, and his marriage was reportedly falling apart. But in 2024, he shocked everyone when his new venture doubled the $15 million a year his old show had been making, and the biggest surprise had nothing to do with cars. Danny Koker was born on January 5, 1964, in Cleveland, Ohio, into a family deeply rooted in the automotive world, with his father, Danny Koker Sr., working as a Ford executive, while nearly everyone around him was connected to the car industry. What made his upbringing unique was a blend of cars and music. His father was also a talented singer and keyboard player for the famous Southern gospel group the Cathedral Quartet. That mix shaped Danny early on. By age 11, he was performing at Carnegie Hall, and at just 8 years old, after receiving a motorcycle from his father, he began taking it apart and rebuilding it, discovering a passion for understanding how things worked. As a teenager, he learned hands-on by helping his father with car projects, studying Ford manuals, and relying on curiosity rather than formal training. By 16, he was already modifying engines, and by 18, he had transformed his first car, a 1979 Camaro Z28, into a street-legal race car. In 1990, Danny took an unexpected turn into television, hosting a late-night horror movie show in Las Vegas called Saturday Fright to the movies as Count Cool Rider, a vampire-style character inspired by his love of Elvis, classic cars, motorcycles, and his grandparents' Yugoslavian accent, a role that earned him the nickname The Count. In 1998, he channeled that persona into Count's Customs, starting as a small motorcycle shop that quickly gained attention, especially after a standout 1932 Ford Roadster build. The business expanded steadily, moved into a larger space by 2002, and exploded nationally in 2004 after Ozzy Osbourne commissioned a custom bat-themed motorcycle. By 2010, Count's Customs had become a full brand with a massive 30,000-square-foot shop, over 50 employees, a tattoo parlor, a rock bar called Count's Vamped, and merchandise sales. Danny's rise to mainstream fame began on July 19, 2009, when he first appeared on Pawn Stars to appraise a 1968 Mustang GT Fastback, eventually appearing in 23 episodes despite an early heated argument with Rick Harrison that nearly ended the collaboration. In 2011, producer Brent Montgomery witnessed Danny impulsively offer $75,000 for a rare 1970 Plymouth Superbird and realized his life would make perfect television, leading to the premiere of Counting Cars on August 13, 2012. The show became a massive hit, drawing 3.1 million viewers for its first episode, averaging nearly 3 million per episode, airing in 150 countries, and being translated into 38 languages, proving that Danny Koker's relentless passion, charisma, and hustle could turn a lifelong obsession into a global empire. At its peak, Counting Cars averaged around 1.5 million viewers per episode, but its success came with unexpected side effects. By 2015, Las Vegas police reported a 37% increase in classic car thefts, believing criminals were targeting vehicles featured on the show, prompting Danny Koker to warn owners to be extra cautious. Danny's unique look also played a huge role in the show's popularity. His long hair, beard, all-black outfits, and skull designs reflected his love for rock music and his band, Count 77, and a 2016 survey revealed most viewers tuned in primarily because of his personality. He was known for quirky habits too, including a leather jacket he had owned since 1989 that he believed brought him luck. He never washed it and even kept more than $10,000 sewn into a pocket for spontaneous car purchases. One of the most emotional moments in the show's history aired on November 5, 2013, when Danny restored a 1981 Corvette once owned by a Vietnam veteran and gifted it to the veteran's widow, moved to tears during the reveal. Danny helped create the most-watched episode ever, drawing 4.3 million viewers. As the show took off, Count's Customs grew rapidly, expanding from a small 7,000-square-foot shop into a massive 30,000-square-foot facility by 2018, allowing Danny to take on bigger and more complex projects. By 2020, his team of more than 50 skilled workers was completing around 75 custom builds a year, with clients willing to wait up to 18 months and pay premium prices for his signature designs. By 2019, the shop was earning over $15 million annually, up from just $500,000 in its first year, and merchandise sales added another $3 million per year by 2021. Danny diversified further by selling rare classic car parts, which made up 20% of shop revenue by 2022, and by hosting restoration workshops that positioned Count Customs as an industry leader. His reputation attracted high-profile clients, including Ozzy Osbourne, LeBron James, Nicolas Cage, Tim McGraw, and Shaquille O'Neal, with standout projects ranging from a $150,000 custom chopper for Ozzy to a $1 million restoration of John Lennon's psychedelic 1965 Rolls-Royce Phantom V. Beyond cars, Danny expanded into entertainment and hospitality, opening Count's Vamp Rock Bar and Grill in 2012, which became a Las Vegas hotspot hosting nightly live music, large festivals like Rocktoberfest, a custom craft beer line, and more than 500 shows a year, generating over $8 million annually by 2022. Music remained central to his life through his band Count 77, formed in 2013, which released multiple successful albums, toured nationally, played major festivals, sold over 500,000 records, and launched a sold-out annual rock cruise. Behind the scenes, however, life during counting cars was far from glamorous. Danny often worked up to 18 hours a day without breaks, lost 35 pounds in 3 months from stress, turned away dozens of custom jobs due to filming, and admitted the pressure cost his business millions while straining his personal life, leading to clashes with producers and moments where the weight of success nearly brought everything to a halt. Despite already being under immense pressure, Danny Koker spent $2.3 million upgrading Count's Customs, a move that improved the shop but added even more stress to his life, even as counting cars teased new seasons and continued to draw attention. Legal trouble soon followed. In 2014, a couple sued Count's Customs for $50,000, claiming they had paid $111,000 for a 1967 Ford Mustang and $39,000 for restoration work, but never received the car, with their lawyer alleging an employee promised the vehicle would appear on the show along with $20,000 in free upgrades, sparking a media storm covered by more than 27 news outlets. The situation worsened in 2017 when the shop accused former employee Joseph Frontier of embezzling $75,000, money allegedly spent on a Range Rover and plane tickets, which also triggered a $188,000 IRS penalty. The biggest blow came in 2021, when 17 former clients filed a $2.7 million lawsuit accusing the shop of overcharging by as much as 300%, damaging Danny's reputation and costing him over $1.2 million in legal fees by 2022, to the point where he considered selling part of his personal car collection. At the same time, fans began questioning the authenticity of counting cars after leaked documents in 2016 suggested many spontaneous moments were pre-planned, leading to a 32% drop in online engagement within a month. Former cast members later claimed much of the drama was staged, and viral videos and leaked audio between 2019 and 2020 show crew members setting up car discoveries and coaching client reactions, forcing producers to admit parts of the show were scripted and prompting the History Channel to impose stricter rules requiring at least 60% of content to be real. The relentless demands of the show also strained Danny's personal life. His marriage to Koker suffered, with public arguments in 2017, admissions in 2019 that they hadn't taken a vacation together in 3 years, and a separation filing in 2020, while friendships, including with business partner Kevin Mack, grew distant as Danny became increasingly isolated and irritable. A turning point came on Christmas Day 2020, when Danny and Corey reconciled and chose to step back from running Counts Vamped and reduce Counting Cars episodes from 26 to 16 per season to focus on health and family. Still, on December 14, 2021, fans were stunned when the History Channel quietly announced the show had ended after 10 seasons, with a final episode airing without warning, leaving storylines unfinished and confusion high, especially since the auto industry was rebounding and the show still had strong ratings. Danny went silent for 47 days after the finale, fueling rumors when Count's Customs removed all references to the show from its website, until he finally resurfaced on January 30, 2022, posting a photo with a partially restored 1957 Chevy Bel Air and a cryptic message hinting at what was next. Without cameras, Count's Kustoms continued to thrive, focusing on larger, more detailed restorations, including a 2,500-hour 1967 Chevy Camaro project completed in March 2023, the start of a $1.5 million restoration of a rare 1954 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing in late 2023, and the adoption of new technology in July 2024, when the shop invested $250,000 in a 3D printer to create custom parts that were once impossible to find. In 2013, Sigourney Weaver returned to Broadway after a 20-year absence in Vanya and Sonia and Mosh and Spike, playing a chaotic, washed-up actress whose wild energy became legendary, including a night she tripped over a rug and accidentally broke David Hyde Pierce's rib, performed her own physical comedy despite malfunctioning costumes, got tangled in a wig-net on stage, and once went off script for 7 full minutes ranting about 1980s soap operas, so hilarious the playwright kept it in the show. Her insistence on real vodka nearly broke the budget, and she even secretly performed a matinee while sick with COVID-19, later saying she simply channeled Mosh's madness and pushed through. Galaxy Quest allowed Weaver to lovingly mock her sci-fi legacy as Gwen DeMarco, openly parodying the absurd roles written for women in space films, with moments like a rant about random ship death traps drawn from Weaver's own frustration with plot holes in Alien 3, an improvised line that nearly earned the film an R rating. Sleeves she deliberately kept tearing to ridicule impractical costumes, and even the infamous "By Grabtha's Hammer" chant tracing back to an old SNL sketch tied to one of her failed Broadway shows. Her brief but meaningful 37-second cameo in Ghostbusters, Afterlife subtly hinted that Dana Barrett had secretly helped fund the Ghostbusters return, with cut dialogue revealing she assisted in rebuilding Phoebe's proton pack, while Weaver also altered lines to suggest Dana might have psychic abilities, refused aging makeup, insisting Dana had earned her wrinkles, and declined a planned supernatural battle, believing Dana should remain the calm center amid chaos. Off-screen, Weaver has shared a rare 40-year marriage with director Jim Simpson, whom she met in 1983 at a theater festival, marrying him on October 1, 1984, and together they raised their daughter Charlotte, known as Cha, who is non-binary and now a Columbia University professor specializing in AI and digital storytelling. Weaver has spoken candidly about the strain of balancing motherhood and stardom, choosing a quiet life in New York, hiking, and avoiding Hollywood spectacle. Standing 6 feet tall, she was often rejected early in her career for being taller than male co-stars, once joking about painting shoes on her feet to appear shorter, while her daughter remained unimpressed by her fame, dismissing Alien as something she didn't need to know. Weaver has long used her platform for advocacy, working with the American Heart Association to raise awareness that heart disease kills more women than all cancers combined, supporting abortion rights through films like Call Jane, 2022, fighting for gorilla conservation for over 3 decades through the Jen Fossey Gorilla Fund, and speaking out on climate change, refugee rights, addiction stigma, and environmental justice, even risking arrest protesting the Keystone XL pipeline and opening her New York home to climate activists like Greta Thunberg. Though she rarely centered public debate on her own pay, earning just $330,000 for Alien before later commanding much higher salaries, Weaver helped pave the way for women in action cinema, supported other female-driven and LGBTQ+ projects, and embodied a belief that activism is not separate from her career but inseparable from who she is.